Hello and welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into the story of Back in Action, a Netflix movie that asks a deceptively simple question. Can you ever truly escape who you used to be? Imagine building a quiet, ordinary life, convincing yourself that the most dangerous chapter of your past is closed, only to discover that the past doesn't care about your plans. That's where this film begins, not with explosions, but with the illusion of normalcy. Two former elite operatives have traded adrenaline and secrecy for school runs, family dinners, and suburban routines, believing they've finally won the right to be normal. But the movie wastes no time reminding us, but in a world of espionage, retirement is often just a pause, not an ending. As old enemies resurfaced and long-buried secrets come back into the light, the film pushes its characters and the audience into a collision between domestic life and global danger. What makes Back in Action interesting isn't just the action itself, but the tension underneath it. The fear of being exposed to your own family, the cost of lies told for protection, and the uncomfortable truth that some skills never fade, no matter how hard you try to bury them. For a modern American audience, this story lands in a familiar space-balancing career, family, identity, and regret trapped in the accessible package of a fast-moving action comedy. As we go forward, we won't just look at what happens on screen, but why it happens, what the film is trying to say about second chances, and whether this return to action feels earned or simply convenient. So settle in, because this isn't just a story about spies coming out of retirement. That's about what happens when the life you ran from finally catches up to the life you built. The narrative of Back in Action follows a familiar three-act structure. But what matters is not originality of the beats, it's how efficiently the film moves between them. The opening act establishes a carefully constructed illusion of safety. Our protagonists are no longer defined by missions or code names, but by routines, family breakfasts, school schedules, and the quiet compromises of adult life. This phase isn't filler. It's doing thematic work. The film wants the audience to believe this normal life is real enough to lose. When the inciting incident hits and their cover is blown, the shift is abrupt by design. The story accelerates quickly, signaling that once the past resurfaces, there is no gradual return-only impact. The second act functions as a chase, both literal and psychological. As the characters are forced back into action, the narrative alternates between external threats and internal conflict. Every escape sequence or confrontation also peels back layers of what they've hidden, not just from enemies, but from their own children. The pacing here is intentionally brisk, sometimes bordering on convenient. And that's a deliberate trade-off. The film prioritizes momentum over plausibility, trusting that emotional continuity will carry the audience forward. By the third act, the story fully commits to resolution through confrontation. There's no ambiguity left about who these characters are or what they can do. The past must be faced head-on, not negotiated with. Structurally, the film doesn't try to subvert expectations. Instead, it refines them. The question isn't what will happen, but what will it cost? Whether that cost feels earned depends on how much weight the viewer gives to character over spectacle. At the center of Back in Action is the relationship between its two leads, and the film wisely treats them as a unit rather than isolated heroes. Their chemistry is built on shared history, both professional and personal, and that history is constantly implied rather than fully explained. This choice keeps the focus on the present tension instead of past mythology. As parents, they're protective, cautious, even restrained. As former operatives, they're precise, instinctive, and dangerously capable. The friction between these identities drives most of the film's emotional energy. What's notable is that neither character is portrayed as fully comfortable in retirement. There's an underlying suggestion that while they wanted safety, they also missed relevance. That ambiguity adds texture, even if the script doesn't always linger on it. The children serve as more than passive hostages or motivations. They act as mirrors. Through them, the film explores what it means to be honest about who you are versus who you pretend to be. Antagonistic forces, while not deeply developed, are functionally effective. They exist to pressure the protagonists into choice rather than to steal focus. Performance-wise, the film leans heavily on timing, both comedic and dramatic. Joseland because of familiarity, not surprise. And emotional moments work best when they're understated. The characters don't undergo radical transformation. Instead, they arrive at acceptance. They stop pretending they can be one thing without the other. That may feel modest, but it aligns with the film's grounded ambitions. Beneath the action comedy surface, Back in Action is fundamentally about identity persistence. The film argues, quietly but consistently, that skills, instincts, and past choices don't expire just because circumstances change. This is especially relevant in an American cultural context where reinvention is often celebrated as limitless. The movie pushes back slightly, suggesting that reinvention has boundaries. Another key theme is the ethics of secrecy within families. The protagonists justify their lies as protection, but the story repeatedly questions whether safety built on deception is stable at all. There's also an aging hero's subtext running throughout the film. Instead of lamenting lost youth, the movie reframes experience as its own advantage. The characters aren't slower, they're more efficient. They don't seek glory, they seek closure. However, the film stops short of fully interrogating the consequences of violence re-entering domestic life. That restraint keeps the tone light, but it also limits thematic depth. The ideas are present, but rarely challenged. The movie prefers reassurance over discomfort, which will work for some viewers and frustrate others looking for sharper commentary. From a technical standpoint, Back in Action is cleanly executed. Action sequences prioritize clarity, allowing the audience to follow geography and intention rather than relying on chaos. This restraint makes the characters' competence believable. The humor is situational, arising from contrasts the absurdity of spy skills colliding with suburban settings. Importantly, the film avoids parody. It respects its own stakes, even when joking within them. Pacing is one of the film's strongest assets. Scenes rarely overstay their welcome, and transitions are smooth, keeping energy high across the runtime. That said, the same efficiency can sometimes flatten emotional beats, giving the audience little time to sit with consequences. Visually, the film opts for familiarity over flair, aligning with Netflix's accessible house style. In the end, Back in Action succeeds because it knows exactly what it wants to be. It doesn't aim to redefine the genre. It aims to deliver a confident, star-driven experience that balances action, family, and humor. Whether that feels satisfying or safe depends on what the viewer expects. The film never pretends to be something it isn't. As Back in Action reaches its final moments, what lingers isn't just the echo of gunfire or the rush of chase sequences, but a quieter realization about identity, choice, and consequence. This is a film that understands its limits and works deliberately within them. It doesn't try to convince us that the past can be erased. Instead, it suggests that the past can be carried with honesty, with responsibility, and with intention. The closing stretch brings resolution not through spectacle alone, but through acceptance. The characters stop running from who they were and stop apologizing for the skills that once defined them. In doing so, the movie lands on a simple but resonant idea. Balance isn't about choosing one life over another. It's about owning all of it. For a Netflix audience used to concept twists and constant escalation, Back in Action offers something more grounded, familiar, controlled, and intentionally accessible. That may feel safe, but safety here is a choice, not a flaw. The film prioritizes connection over shock, rhythm over reinvention, and clarity over chaos. It knows that sometimes the most satisfying ending isn't about changing the world, but about protecting the small one you've built. Whether you see this as a comfortable ride or a missed opportunity depends on what you expect from action cinema today. If you're looking for genre disruption, this won't challenge you. But if you're looking for polished entertainment with emotional coherence, it delivers exactly that. And maybe that's the real takeaway. Back in Action isn't trying to prove anything. It's simply showing what happens when experience meets responsibility, when old instincts are guided by new priorities. So now, the question is yours. Did this return to action feel meaningful or merely familiar? Let us know what you think. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please like the video, subscribe to the channel for more cinematic breakdowns, share it with fellow movie fans, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. We read them all. Your perspective keeps these conversations alive. Thanks for watching.